Hi, my name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net and you're watching Lenny Breau Untold. Perhaps one of the greatest jazz guitarists ever, Lenny Breau was anything but a purist and drew on a huge variety of influences, including flamenco, classical music, Indian ragas, and of course, his true pedigree as the son of a pair of traveling country musicians. Breau practiced obsessively from a very early age and dropped out of grade school to go on the road with his family band. His singular sound came out of a similarly singular focus on music and on voracious appetite for different forms of guitar styles. This obsessiveness rendered him largely unable to cope with the more mundane aspects of everyday life and led to his lifelong addiction to drugs. There is clearly a downside to doing literally nothing but play guitar every day, to the exclusion of all other things, but it has definitely made him one of the most incredible guitarists on the planet. What can we learn from Lenny Breau that can take our own playing somewhere new? There are almost an embarrassment of riches in his work, so we need only to reach into his bag of tricks to find any number of mind-altering ideas. Let's get going. If you are a straight-ahead jazz guitarist and listen only to jazz music from 1945 to 1963, say, you might want to take a cue from Lenny if you want to get out of a rut. His first exposure to music was country music, of course, and you can hear the strong Merle Travis influence in his playing. If you're not familiar with Merle Travis, well, go to the store or on the internet here and check it out. Between Travis and Chet Atkins, a father figure to Lenny, Lenny found a model for his approach to all other musics. Travis picking is a beautiful style and Lenny was a master of it. So taking a cue from Atkins, Lenny played with a thumb pick and expanded on Chet's distinctive cascading harmonics technique. Lenny would often play country tunes and sing, really, in his solo set and with a trio, like the wonderful That's All from the live album The Velvet Touch of Lenny Breau, often starting the tunes in an authentic style before jumping off into jazzy impressionistic excursions. In fact, The Velvet Touch of Lenny Breau is the perfect introduction to just how much a young Lenny Breau has synthesized so many styles into his own vision of where a jazz guitar trio could go. You can really hear that Lenny didn't believe in keeping genres separate, and the record was obviously an effort to introduce this young wizard to the world and showcase his incredible versatility. I have spoken to many jazz players who don't really get Lenny precisely because of his lack of stylistic focus. And it's true that Lenny could be capricious, veering wildly from meaty jazz lines and Bill Evans-inspired voicings into flamenco flourishes and then Tarraga-inspired tremolando melodies, followed by raga-infused drones and explorations. And all of that in the space of 2 minutes, of course. But it is precisely this aspect of his playing that is so fascinating. He channeled all of this into some truly idiosyncratic music that was not jazz, not country, not flamenco, but just the world of Lenny Breau, which is perhaps why he appeals so much to guitarists in general rather than jazz guitarists specifically. Everyone who plays guitar can learn something from him, and we can relate to that, what he's doing, because we've all sat down and said, hey, I'm going to learn a classical piece. Or, hey, I'm going to finally get a country tune under my belt. Except Lenny didn't just learn a few short pieces. He mastered entire styles, then reincorporated them into his own vision. Also worth checking out is Boy Wonder, which features early recordings of Lenny playing in a heavy Merle Travis influenced style throughout. So take a cue from Lenny now and spend some time learning an aspect of guitar style that involves new techniques or new vocabulary for you. Even if it's not clear how you will use the style immediately, given time to assimilate and simmer in your mind, the usefulness of this will become obvious in time. Remember that the guitar is an instrument that transcends genres, and it's an incredible versatility that makes the guitar so different from many instruments that are relegated, fairly or not, to single styles of music. Lenny's ability to imply harmony with 2 low register notes while playing melody on the upper string was unprecedented. He really did create the impression of 2 guitarists playing together at times. A video of Lenny playing Georgia on My Mind on the CBC television in 1961, check it out on YouTube, is evidence of Lenny's bona fides as a jazz guitarist, of his incredible harmonic sophistication and depth that showcases his Bill Evans influence approach to harmony and arrangement. Check it out if you haven't already and steal as many passages from this recording as possible. To truly get into this approach, you will need to abandon the pick. But right-hand finger technique is definitely a good thing to add to your bag of tricks anyways, even if it's not something you see yourself adopting full-time. It will give you an increased awareness of the arranging possibilities on the guitar and eliminate aspects of harmonic efficiency that may not have occurred to you while playing with a plectrum, with a pick, right? So you could even experiment with a thumb pick to really get into his vibe. On a related note, one cool thing that Lenny did was often to play with single notes like lines like P, I, P, M. It gives a kind of weight to lines that that I am can't really match, and it gets closer to the heavy steadiness of the plectrum alternate strokes. Practice more. This kind of goes without saying, but the amount of time Lenny spent with the guitar probably can't be comprehended by mere mortals, say, like me. He basically didn't do anything but play the guitar. Stories abound of his incompetence in regular life and struggles to do things like go to the store, pay the rent, hammer a nail, or feed himself. So this is definitely not something to emulate, but it definitely shows what comes with a dedication to the instrument. Could you be practicing more? Well, of course you could. Can you increase your practice time without falling into a life of addiction and personal chaos? I hope so. Split the difference between Lenny's obsessiveness and your own personal need for improvement, and you may find that space, in that space, a happy medium that allows you to come closer to your goals as a musician. In our internet age, it seems harder than ever to find the solitude and space for introspection that was afforded to many of the greats that came up in the pre-internet age. Remember that you need to make that space for yourself and find a way to immerse yourself in your music. Your heroes all practiced a lot. And it was in many ways easier to do that because, hey, what else was there to do, right? So try to imagine a time of immense boredom and idle time that people filled with learning how to play the guitar, hit a tennis forehand, learn to kick a kickflip ollie on a skateboard, write novels, or become chess grandmasters. So this time was not that long ago, right? Channel that. Music is struggle, pain, and hardship. So don't forget that. My name is Mark from jazzguitarlessons.net, and you've watched Lenny Breau Untold.